Is this working? No? Is that better? I'll be loud. I can do that. Vladika, Father Vladimir, Dr. Margarita, all of the guests. What do you say on a day like today? I mean, there's so much that can be said, but you don't want to sit here listening to me talk about it. But I just want to reflect on a couple of things. Almost 30 years ago, when I was preparing to enter into the seminary, just thinking about it and what have you, my sister-in-law was looking for a place to go to church and to have her children baptized because her husband, she was Serbian, and her husband was not and didn't speak the language and what have you. And only by reputation did I know about Father Vladimir Berzonsky. And I said, well, there's this church in Parma, it's Holy Trinity, and you might call the priest and talk to him and see what you can do. Never met him. Didn't know anything about him, I mean, other than by reputation. What a reputation. So the time came for the baptism, and I came and we were in the old chapel, since the church had been built. Oh, it works. Look at that. It was in the old chapel, and I walked in and I wanted to meet this priest, and I'm looking around, and somebody said, there's the priest. And I said, that can't be the priest. I said, yeah, that's the priest. I said, well, he's so short. He's not 7'6" like I thought he would be. I heard so much about him. But Father Vladimir, to me, when I think of Father Vladimir, I think of an era that prepared the way for priests that are my age, that are now in Greater Cleveland serving. At a time when we were just looked at as mere ethnics in a very ethnic city. And that's not always bad, but that's how they looked at it. They looked at us for Russian or Serbian or Ukrainian Christmas, to look to see if we made pierogi, if we, to see what we did. And there were a few priests of that era who wanted to put the church in the public in the way that it was supposed to be. And I think of priests like Father James Mina, who I only got to know a short time before he passed away. Father Vasilia Hadigan, who again also held up. And then there was Father Vladimir Berzonsky, who probably is the youngest of that group at the time, to be holding the Orthodox Church up as the Christian church, as the church that Christ founded on the day of Pentecost by the descent of the Holy Spirit, to know us more than just pierogi pitchers, or to be kobasi makers, or sell baklava, or whatever it is that we do. Those things are all good and there's nothing wrong with them, but Christ was the one we were trying to sell. And there were other priests of that era from the Greek churches and what have you that worked hard with them. And there was a union at that time. That was the time of Ciola. When there was I think, a promising time. We hear about the time that we would like to see a united church. I think the right time was the 60s, and we probably missed the picking of that. But the foundation was laid. And you had an English worshiping church here that there was definitely a need for. Look at what has happened in this parish. Consequently, all of us have pretty much followed suit and come to that also. But it was because of the efforts and the missionary efforts, if you will, sacrificing efforts of a young priest and his wife that were willing to come and do those things. So for me, that's my reflection about you. And on behalf of your brothers in the Diocese of the Midwest, your brother priest, because Vladika will speak as our archpastor, but as a brother priest from the Diocese of the Midwest, we congratulate you on your retirement. We thank you for your labors, and we hope that God continue to bless you and grant you many blessed years.